Good evening, football fans. Welcome to Back in Field as we get set for another edition of WFA football here on Hastings Community Television. My name's Hunter Pinky. I'm the sports director, and I'll be your announcer for this contest. Apologize for the little blurry visual. We were forced to kind of move the camera into the press box because the rain is coming down here pretty heavily, so we're going to make do with what we can and try to get this game covered for everyone. The Minnesota Minx come in at a record of 1-4, and so do the Sioux Snow Leopards. These are two teams that have a lot of history. In the Minx's first season, they played the Sioux Snow Leopards twice, splitting the series, so the very first win for the Minnesota Minx came against Sioux Falls, but we'll see what we can get here. These teams are pretty different from when they were back then. Sioux Falls, notably, one fact about them is they were the only team until last week that were able to score on the Nebraska Pride, who frankly, the Minnesota Minx struggled with, losing by a lot, not being able to score much. So offense is going to be key for the Minnesota Minx. They've struggled in the early going, but they still have a few vital weapons, looking at number 15, Michelle Krogstad. Madison Hahn's going to be a key factor if she can get the passing game rolling. Tricarico in the backfield will be another player to watch. A lot of key pieces here in the contest. Once again, we're live on YouTube, so if you want to let us know where you're watching from or if I mispronounce any names, please do so in the YouTube comments, and I'll try to address them as soon as possible. We were planning a full production, 3 to 4 cameras originally, but the rain definitely put a little bit of a hamper on our initial plan, so we're having to reduce down to a single camera shoot. But still excited to be here for some Women's Football Alliance football, and looks like Sioux Falls will receive the opening kick. Head coach for the Minnesota Minx is Grant Palmer in his second season with the club. Head coach for the Sioux Falls Snow Leopards is Manny Gutierrez. The most points the Sioux Falls Snow Leopards have put up this year was 32 points against the Cedar Raptors, who is a common opponent for the Minx, as we're set for action. Kick is fielded at the 30-yard line, returned out to the 40, and tackled down. Not yet. Just carrying the pile. She is trucking. They can't tackle her as she's tackled on the other side of the 50. She carried a pile of Minx along with her. That was pure truck. As we get set for the Snow Leopards' first look on offense, they've been held scoreless the last 3 games. Aside from that 32-pointer, they haven't scored an offensive point all season, which is unfortunate, but this is going to be a pretty even playing field, and I think both teams should be able to score, barring any tricky weather conditions, as we're set for first down. Woman in motion, handoff on the jet, and makes a woman miss and takes it outside to the 40, to the 30. Can they tackle her down? Pushes outside, and she's still going and tackled down at the 20. That was number 34, Danielle Flute, on the carry. So tackling proving to be an early problem, and I imagine today with the rainy conditions, both teams are going to be living on that run game. So that'll be a first down and move the chains. Quarterback for Sioux Falls is number 3, Jennifer Reinke. Three receivers to the left, to the right, one in motion. That's number 20, handoff. He's got a lot of room, takes it outside, makes a woman miss, bowls through a tackle and tackled down, and we got some laundry. And potentially an injury, so we'll have to see what the call is here. I'm guessing a hold or a block in the back, and trying to get that injury number for you. Personal foul, I think a blindside block. Regardless, that'll be 15 yards against Sioux Falls. So what looked to be a good run negated by the penalty, as we will replay first down. Once again, thanks for tuning in on our YouTube channel. If you're from Sioux Falls or Minnesota, let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. Try to get to whatever comments I can. Hi, Elizabeth Brown. Thanks for tuning in. Angelica Niekamp watching from Maple Grove. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Like I said, sorry for the poor visuals. We're shooting through a rain-filled window. So we'll do the best we can to kind of clean it up, or if the rain lightens at half, we'll see if we can open her up. But it's going to be pretty steady all game, so I imagine both teams will lean on the run game, and that's been kind of the style of offense for Minnesota. I'll get more into that when they're on the field, but a big defensive piece for the Minx is J.C. Otterson. She's been the captain, or one of the huge playmakers on that defense. So look for her heavily involvement. First down. Reinke looking to pass, flushed out of the pocket, and goes off number 34, nearly intercepted. Leah Moan nearly with the pick. That'll make 2nd and 24. So that'll be 2nd and long. 12:34 to go in quarter number 1. Once again, want to thank our cameraman Ian Andersack along for the ride. So 2nd down. Snap, handoff, run up the middle, and run straight into a wall. Great job by that defensive line. That was, I believe, number 52, Erica De Leon on the carry. So 3rd and long. So the Minx defense is standing up here early as they forced a 3rd and long after the penalty. Snap. Reinke looking to pass, firing it over the middle, and overthrown and incomplete, which I imagine we'll have to see what they do, because this is awkward range. Being in the Minx territory, are they going to force a punt? And they will. Looks like Reinke's coming off the field for Sioux Falls. So 4th down. It's going to be a little pooch punt here. Very short punting formation unless they run some trickery. Punt is away. Good bounce. And it's going to lay nicely for Sioux Falls down at the 2-yard line. And the Minx are going to have some trouble here early. Like I said, the one other game against Nebraska, they scored the only points until last week, and it was a 2-point safety. So we'll have to see what Minnesota can do here, backed up on their own goal line. That punt was by McKenna Hammonds, and that was a beautiful one. While it didn't have a ton of distance in the air, that bounce was absolutely perfect. You couldn't write it any better. As we get a first look at the Minnesota Minx offense, quarterback is Madison Hahn, former Minnesota Vixen player, they are also playing down in St. Louis against the Slam, and that's a huge game with huge seeding implications. So that's another game I'll try to keep an eye on and get scores throughout as first down. Play action up the middle. Good run to start. That's Tricarico on the carry. One of the key offensive weapons and captains for this Minnesota Minx squad. She also goes by Tricarico, or if you go back to week 1, Shoeless Tricarico. So I might call her Shoeless Trick a couple times or just call her Trick. We'll kind of do a little bit of both as we get set for second down. Handoff once again, looking for space and not a lot of it. Makes a move and does gain a couple, so that'll be third down and about medium. Apologize, don't have the down and distance on the board as we approach the 10-minute mark here in the opening quarter. Hahn getting the play call. Third down. 2 receivers to the left. 1 near side. 1 in the backfield. Hahn awaits the snap. Looking to pass. She has time and nearly intercepted. That was number 19 in coverage, Elizabeth Searless. And that's going to force a Minnesota Minx punt. So back-to-back possessions with a punt to open this game. Believe that's number 33 for the Minx. Mel Hopkins on the kicking punting duties today. Snap. Can she get it away? And she does. See what kind of bounce we get in it. That's a favorable bounce for the Minx. And then kind of recoils back to set it at the 39-yard line. So not a bad punt. Not a ton of distance, but again, that really good bounce that helped set up what could have been way better field position for Sioux Falls. Like we mentioned earlier, Sioux Falls was also a Division IV team at one point, developmental league alongside the Minx. Both teams moving up to the Division III level. Minnesota Minx had their first D3 win Week 1 against the Cedar Raptors, and they're coming off a 30-28 loss last time out in overtime against Cedar Raptors. First down, handoff to number 13. That's Lexi Ronning looking to get outside. She does. Still going and out near the 23-22 yard line. So good carry by Ronning. Ronning listed on my roster as a wide receiver. She is out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and went to UNLV. As the chains move, we get set for first down once again. Reinke under center. Handoff. Runs into a wall and nowhere to go. That was 52 once again. De Leon on the carry. That'll make it second down and 8 or 9 to go. Second down. Receiver in motion. Nearly a bad snap, but we're going to get some laundry, and they're indicating false start. So that'll move Sioux Falls back 5 yards. As we get set for second and 13 approximately. No, it'll be second and 15, my apologies. They didn't gain a yard on the last play. De Leon in the backfield. Reinke Couple yards back of the line of scrimmage, two receivers near side, receiver in motion. Bad snap, and she just covers it. And because it is college rules, if you cover it, you are down. If you make a diving catch, you are down. So unfortunately, you can't really get back up and run on a botched snap like that, and that'll bring up 3rd and long. Once again, want to welcome the viewers on the local community stations. I know Quad Cities is picking us up. Appreciate having you guys along for the ride. And any other community stations that are tagging along with us, we really appreciate it. As we are just under the 7-minute mark. Receiver in motion. Rolling out. Reinke looking to pass. Has her in the flat. Caught. And she's still running. Down to the 10. They can't tackle her. And tackled finally at the 5-yard line. But what a little play out in the flat just to gain a lot of yardage. But there is laundry out on the field. I unfortunately missed the call, but I can assume it is a hold or a block in the back. Tricarico on the sideline trying to get all the fans hyped, get them in this game, and we're going to get our first timeout. Be a timeout by Sioux Falls. Like I said, it's the one thing we can talk about too here for the Sioux Falls fans who might not know as much. Minnesota has a very unique relationship with the Minnesota Vixen, as it's almost, I don't want to call it a minor league squad, but they partner up, share players, and share info and resources, and it's a great partnership. And it's the first one in the whole Women's Football Alliance. So on days like this where they're both at different locations, you don't always see it. Charlie Barba Cook, one of the Vixen O-linemen, is the co-founder and board president for the Minx. So it's great to have that kind of relationship. And for those wondering why the picture's a little iffy, that is actually the window we're shooting through currently. The rain is coming down, so we unfortunately can't have the window. We'll maybe look at the end of the quarter and adjust, but with how streaky the rain's been, we're kind of shooting through a window and didn't want to damage gear. This is the pass from Reinke out in the flat, and that is dropped. Number 13, Lexi Ronning, was the intended target, and that'll bring up 4th down. So another punt coming from Sioux Falls. And we'll try to kind of wipe off the lens as we can. Once again, I want to say hi to some fans. Mike Eastman watching from Sioux Falls. Sao Tome watching from California. Courtney Stoltz. Jolene Neve. Angela Edie. Courtney Stoltz. And Darla Caliguri watching from Canada. So we're going international here as that punt is away. Takes a high bounce, and that's picked up. Has a little bit of space, but a good tackle on the back end. That was number 35, Brandy Parks. Athena Hurd was the returner for Minnesota. So now we get set for Minnesota's second possession of the first quarter. Both offenses struggling here a little early. Pass game not quite in sync. We did see that one big little pass play out in the flat that was negated by a penalty. So we'll have to see what they can do here as we're set for first down. Two receivers in the back, or two running backs in the backfield, two receivers near side, one to the far side. Handoff, Tricarico, little reverse, laundry out on the field. Tricarico looking to find a lane and tackled down. Excuse me, that was not Tricarico. That was Hurd on the carry. Let's see what the call was. And we're getting a false start. And that's the problem you see when you're not used to running a lot of plays in motion. If you don't come set before you start that motion, You're going to get called for a false start or illegal procedure, if you will. So a 5-yard penalty. Hello to Brenda Wright watching from Wisconsin. Go Sioux Falls Snow Leopards. I guess I'd appreciate everyone watching online. His handoff up the middle. Gains a few back, but not many as we move to second down. We're approaching the 4-minute mark here in quarter number 1 at back and field at Harding High School in St. Paul. Like I said, this high school is we've talked about it before on other broadcasts. This high school is placed right in the middle of a neighborhood. You can kind of see cars in the background. It's in a very unique location. And they've been great to work with so far. Hahn, back to pass. Looking to fire deep and incomplete. No one there. Maybe a little miscommunication. Number 15, Miranda Krogstad was the intended target. And excuse me, that was 4th down. So the penalty must have negated that. So we'll get set for another punt. Mel Hopkins on the punting duties. So offense coming at a premium here early. Bad snap. Gets it away, and that was a pretty good kick. Takes a good bounce. Good reception on the back end. Has space. Tackled down right at the 35-yard line. That was number 35, Brandy Parks. So we'll get set for drive number 3 for Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls in the light blue pants, light blue numbers, black helmets, black socks. They also have, I don't know if I call it camouflage, but they got this pattern on their jerseys that's really unique that I haven't seen a lot of other teams with. It's almost kind of like the City Connect jerseys for the Twins that just released, how they have those different patterns on it. As we get set for 1st and 10. 2 receivers each side, 1 in motion. Reinke looking to pass, has time. Firing deep, has her caught! Down to the 10, 5! And she'll be pushed out of bounds just short. That's number 13, Lexi Ronning, and they finally got a big connection. So as we get set for 1st and goal, I formation, receiver each side, handoff, and nowhere to go. The Minx read it like a book. That was number 34 on the carry, Danielle Flute, or Flutie, one of the two. If Sioux Falls fans could correct me on that, would appreciate that. Like I said, kind of a last-second switch to a single cam, so as we get set for 2nd and goal. I formation once again. Reinke takes a snap. Handoff Ronning. Has a lot of room. Is she in? Yes, she is. Touchdown, Sioux Falls. So our first score of the game will go to the Sioux Falls Snow Leopards. Taking advantage of fantastic field position and finally breaking the scoreless streak with 1:35 to go in the first quarter. Now we'll get set for the extra point. And it looks like they'll go for 2. 1 in the backfield, 2 each side. Reinke Receiver in motion, looking to pass, has time. Rolling out. Thrown out in the flat, caught, and that's a 2-point conversion. So Sioux Falls will go up by 8 early in this contest. With 1:36 to go in the first quarter. And that was a very efficient drive. Not very many plays, but the one thing on the Minnesota side I've been liking a lot more than we've seen in the other two games, their defensive line is doing a lot better job at getting penetration and stuffing some of these runs, which, it's, to be honest, it's come at a premium at times for the squad. So while you're giving up that score, there's still some things to like and still things you can build on. And if you get a little bit better field position, hopefully you can string together some drives to counteract that. And hopefully Sioux Falls next time defensively doesn't have as strong of a field position, putting you on your back early. As we get set for the kickoff, this is McKenna Hammonds out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Went to University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point at 5'5", listed as a corner. So the kick, a little squibber, and it's picked up. Has some room. That's number 31. Takes it outside. Has some room. Past the 40. 35, and tackled down. That was number 31, Catherine Guana. So the Minx getting some momentum of their own here as we get set for the third drive for Minnesota. So they'll set up at the 34-yard line. Madison Hahn making the play call to her O-line. The rest of the squad, Tricarico heads out wide. Kind of a gadget player, used a lot in the backfield and at receiver. Krogstad near side. Watch for those two in this play. Handoff. Has some room. Big hole. 30, 28. Down to the 27-yard line. So a good run by Guana once again. And that's the exact momentum you need to keep building off of after a great return. Keep the pedal down. Don't play content. As we get set for second and short. Two receivers each side. One in the backfield. Guana once again. Hahn. Handoff. Guana. Tries to, big hit and a fumble. And that's a drive killer as Guana took a shot. She took a huge hit on the back end of that to force the fumble. Number 85, Sabrina Heasty. Comes up with the fumble recovery. So that is absolutely a huge momentum swing for Minnesota. And thank you for the correction on flute. We appreciate that. Thanks for Chicago EMT as well tuning in as we get set for drive number 4. Handoff. Finds a hole, runs straight into Otterson and has nowhere to go. Maybe a gain of a yard on the play. But that's about it. As the final seconds of the first quarter trickle away, Sioux Falls Snow Leopards force a huge turnover and score. They hold a 8-0 lead here early in this contest. We're going to take a quick break. Thanks for joining us, everybody. You are watching Minnesota Minx football on HCTV Sports.
He gets the pin. What a move, what a goal! Oh, what a a shot, scores!
And the 2-point conversion. No good. So the lead will remain 14-0. So Sioux Falls will have to stick with a 14-0 lead over Minnesota, and Minnesota needs a little bit of a momentum kick of their own. We apologize for the stream. All right, we apologize to those watching online. We've been having some technical difficulties. There was a large run by number 20, Alika Muldrow, for a touchdown. We were recording it, so we will put up a file after the game. Just we've been having issues with our internet and our computer, so we appreciate you bearing with us as we get through this game. It's always the bad weather games that are not the most cooperative. So Sioux Falls leads 22-20 as Minnesota gets set for first down once again. And there was some movement early. That's going to be a false start. Like I said, once again, we apologize for that. We actually, a few years ago, or last year when we did our first ever Minx game, we got rained out because the weather was so bad. And so it's kind of some parallels to that day. So we appreciate you all bearing with us as we get through this coverage, as we get set for still first down after the pre-snap motion. Looking to throw. Good ball. Krogstad, and just can't get back to it. So move to second down. Good spiral to it. It's just Krogstad saw it a little bit late. Be 2nd and 15 for Minnesota. The one benefit, if you are the Minx, you will receive out of halftime. So you can get a score back, but you need to score right now to stay in this game. As we just approach 9 minutes in quarter number 2. Second down. Handoff Guana. It's got room. And that closed up pretty quickly. Gain of maybe 2 on the carry. And that'll move us to third down. Once again, thanks for everybody tuning in. We appreciate you. As we approach the 8:30 mark, it'll be 3rd and long. 2 receivers each side, 1 in the backfield. Handoff once again, and boy, that closed up quick. Number 94 and number 16. Samantha Lemons, and that'll bring up 4th down. And forcing another Minnesota punt. It's a must-stop territory for Minnesota. And you need a good punt here. Rain continuing to fall. Bad snap. Looking to take it outside. And nowhere to go. And Sioux Falls will have excellent field position once again. Mel Hopkins couldn't corral the snap, which will force the defense back onto the field. And like I said, the biggest problem with Minnesota all year has just been the offense not being able to sustain drives. And when your defense is gassed all the time, it just puts so much strain. So 7:30 to go in quarter number 2. One in the backfield. 2 receivers top of your screen. Reinke hands it off. A lot of space. Takes it for 4 or 5 on the carry. Once again, that's De Leon. De Leon having a very good day. That big bruising back running style. As we get set for second down. Handoff once again, De Leon. Bruising back, just runs through a couple Minx players to gain the first down and take it all the way down to the 25-yard line. So De Leon proving to be one of the offensive MVPs for Sioux Falls so far today. So 1st and 10 as we approach the 6-minute mark. 22-0 lead in favor of Sioux Falls as they spread it out. Receiver in motion. Handoff. It was read like a book, but they got around it. 34 still going. 10, 5, touchdown, Snow Leopards. As the lead extends to 28-0, and again, Minnesota just hasn't been able to get a stop and can't get that offense rolling. And we've seen bigger deficits overcome in football. Anything can happen, but it's a do-or-die drive. If you want to stay in this, if you can score on this drive, get a stop, you can be close within 2 scores once again as we get set for the 2-point conversion. Fumble, and that's recovered by Minnesota. So the 2-point try is no good as the lead remains 28-0 in favor of Sioux Falls. Once again, I'm Hunter Pinky, Sports Director at HCTV. Normally I'm just doing the switching work, but today on the mic for you all. Ian Andrusak on camera today in the press box with me. Pretty good crowd on hand today considering the conditions. Lots of umbrellas out there. And I even see, if you look, you can see some umbrellas dead straight across too. I'm assuming some Sioux Falls fans making the trek down here, which we appreciate. At the end of the day, even if, no matter the score, no matter the competition, it's just fantastic to see a crowd coming out, bearing the conditions, and supporting women's sports. Women's sports slowly starting to grow. WNBA getting more popular with Caitlin Clark and other players. Minnesota Aurora are very popular here. It's great to see the growth of women's sports as they change formation. They had number 69 showing she was going to do the kickoff duties, but Hammonds takes back over. Kick is away. Little squibber caught by Guana. Looking to get behind some blocks. Found the edge. past the 40, pushed out at the 45, and that was great patient running. That was great running by Ghana, excuse me. Just to wait for those blocks to develop and just follow them and gain 15, 20 yards on the return. And now Minnesota is in prime real estate to get something going. Just need a few chunk plays. Ghana has been really good in the backfield, minus that fumble fully wasn't her fault with how big of a hit that was. Has some confusion here, and there's going to be a flag for too many on the field. Now push them back 5 yards, and the little things add up. And the problem we saw against Nebraska is, you know, when you're a newer team, you're still figuring out the flow of football. A lot of these athletes, you know, they've played plenty of sports, but they've never played football. You're not used to the timing. You're not used to all these things. Minnesota had some struggles against Nebraska earlier, and they've been doing a better job today, but they still got a few things to iron out as Hahn looks to pass and throws behind Krogstad. Make it second down. Pressure got through quickly, and Hahn just had to get rid of that football. As we approach the 4:20 mark from Bakken Field. So second down, one in the backfield. Handoff from Hahn to Ghana. Has some room, takes it outside, and closed up pretty quickly, a yard or two short of the original line of scrimmage. Tackle was by Alicia Muldrow. So big third down for Minnesota. Rain picking up in intensity here. It's going to be kind of coming in waves all the way through 7, 8 o'clock-ish. Then we should get a little bit of a breather, but it's no guarantee. Two receivers to the left, none to the right. Handoff Ghana. Bouncing back inside, has some room, gains about 4 on the carry, and that'll bring a fourth down. And we'll see what Coach Palmer and company decide to do. And it looks like they're bringing out the punting unit. So another drive stalling out for the Minnesota Minx, and in this scenario, with how much the rain picked up, I can understand why they make the switch to the punting unit, barring any trickery on this play. Snap just gets the kick away, and that was sky high, and that'll land at about the 27-ish yard line, and Sioux Falls will come back out, and again, another drive for the Minx defense. Minx will receive out a half, like we mentioned. (28-0) lead in favor of the Snow Leopards. Their run game has just been dominating so far in the second quarter. Minnesota hasn't really had any time to breathe, and this time they're spreading it out. Gutierrez has to be happy with how his squad is playing. Reinke waits the snap. Player in motion, decides to pass, firing deep and broken up. Intended target was Ronning. Trying to get the number for you who was in coverage. That was number 22, Jayla Rashal. Good coverage. Just make sure you're getting that head back, just not to draw the PI. But luckily, no flag. But good job just to get around. Minnesota Minx have these reflective jersey numbers that reflect off the stadium lights. That makes it a little hard to read sometimes. So if it takes me a minute to call a player, that's what we're dealing with. As handoff, it was read by a Minx player, but just can't get there. Another bulldozing tackle, and she's still going. 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Sioux Falls. And that's another big run by Muldrow. She's listed as a tight end, but clearly can play running back too, as the score moves to 34-0 in favor of Sioux Falls. And they haven't really shown that they have a kicker for extra points, so I imagine they'll be going for 2 once again. As we await play call. And yes, they will be going for 2. Reinke with 1 in the backfield. Player in motion. Waits the snap. Handoff once again. A little bit of a hole. Is she in? No good on the 2-point. So Minnesota has proven very strong on these 2-point conversion defenses. They gave up 1 earlier, but they've really been tightening down. But unfortunately, they're just having trouble with these big bruising backs that are just kind of running over them. The runs up the middle, they've been doing a pretty good job today. It's just when they get some space outside, get that separation, that's when they've been running into trouble. But Sioux Falls, like I said, it's been all gas, no brakes, pedal to the metal, and they want to put an exclamation point on this season. And a correction, it's Alika Muldrow. We appreciate all the commenters on that. We would rather get it right and have a more interactive broadcast than go a little too crazy, so we really appreciate it. As we get set for the kickoff. Looking like number 69 again, Kelsey Long. Set to kick it away unless they do some goofy onside kick, and they might. Nope, she will take it. Little squibber. Can they cover? And they do. Trying to limit another big return from Ghana, who's been one of the bright spots for this Minnesota Minx squad. So Minx will set up at about the 47-yard line as the clock continues to run. I will have to confirm if we've entered running time or not at halftime. So first down. Bad snap, and Hahn just has to cover it as the clock continues to roll. As there seems to be some confusion, we're just kind of waiting to confirm, and that is the end of the first half. So Sioux Falls has been dominating with that run game with their 2 big backs in Muldrow and number 52, Erica De Leon. And Minnesota Minx are going to need to do some searching here to dig out of this big hole. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We are going to take a quick break, and we will be back out of halftime. Thanks for joining us, everybody. You're watching Minnesota Minx football. Welcome back to Harding High School. Out of halftime, the Sioux Falls Snow Leopards lead the Minnesota Minx 34-0. I'm Hunter Pinky on the call by myself. Well, with the camera guy in the press box, Ian Andersack, as we get set for the start of the second half. And really, it's just been a tale of time of possession has been dominated by Sioux Falls. And it's really starting to show that Minx defense was starting to look a little bit gassed by the end, just with how much time on the field they were facing and a couple of big bruiser backs they've been struggling with. But they have a chance to flip the script a little bit here as they will receive the opening kickoff for the second half. Kick is away. Caught by Ghana, and she just has to cover. So position will start at the 42-yard line. And they are doing running time. It's kind of going to be a back-and-forth running time scenario, even if they get this offense rolling and it gets to be a closer game, because there is some nasty weather on the way, even nastier than what we've had today. So they're just trying to make sure this game ends up complete. So once again, thanks to everybody tuning in online. First down, one in the backfield, two receivers near side, handoff Ghana, looking to get outside, and another big hit. Laying down the hit stick is number 20, Alika Muldrow once again, and boy, that was a big tackle. Referee checking in on her, and notably too, Ghana is wearing I believe they're called Guardian caps. It's a new football initiative to help battle concussions. So you'll see some players, I don't see any on Sioux Falls, but a few Minx players have been wearing those. So second and long. Handoff once again. Has some room. Good block by 23. Takes it back inside. Gain just about a yard or two short of the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd and 11, 3rd and 12-ish for Minnesota. Clock is at 13:30. Number 55 for the Minnesota Minx, Marlon Hunsberger, is getting worked on by the trainer, getting that ankle or leg taped up. You hope she's okay. They're down. Hahn looking to pass, throws it short and nearly picked off. Man. Muldrow came in like a missile and was ready to take that one to the house. And that'll force another Minnesota Minx punt. So no score update from the Minnesota Vixen or Slam game. That kickoff is set for 7 p.m. tonight. Low screamer of a punt. It's rolling all the way down to the 25-yard line. Works like a touchback. So after this game, you guys should tune into the Minnesota Vixen taking on the St. Louis Slam. That is gonna be a really good game. I was also on the call for Minnesota Vixen versus St. Louis week 1, where it was a 40-41 game in favor of the St. Louis Slam. The Vixen couldn't capitalize. They unfortunately went for it for 2 to try to steal the win, and ball was underthrown, and the 2-point conversion was missed. And that game has a lot of playoff implications for Division 3 or WFA Pro Division. Division 3, both of these squads are unfortunately out of the playoff race, but wanting to end the season on a high note as both teams are 1-4. Receiver in motion, that's Ronning. Heads to the other side, fakes a handoff. Reinke looking to pass. Heat-seeking missile coming to the quarterback and completed out at the 30 to number 34. She takes it out past the 43-yard line. Once again, that's Flute. Flute as well has been a really good asset for the Sioux Falls Snow Leopards. Chains move once again. One in the backfield. Two receivers each side. Reinke waits the snap. Ronning in motion once again. Handoff. Ronning will take it. Lot of room out past the 50. Still not down. And tackled about the 48-yard line. So Ronning getting a good chunk play on the reverse. That's the other aspect I can really commend on the Sioux Falls Snow Leopard squad. They are getting very creative. A lot of misdirection, just sending players in motion, keeping the Minx on their toes, not showing the same thing every play. It's making it hard for them to tackle effectively on some of these plays as we get set for 1st and 10 once again. One in the backfield. Player in motion, handoff. A lot of room, cuts inside, and gain of about 8. Once again, that's Flute. Danielle Flute having herself a game as we have an injury on the field, unfortunately. Fortunately, don't have the number for you. We hope she's okay. The rain seems to have stopped momentarily. But as you get a good look at the Minnesota huddle, they continue to work on the downed Minx player. Yeah, for Sioux Falls, they've had a relatively tough schedule, opening up with Nebraska Pride. That was a pretty big loss. Then they came back with a 32-6 victory over the Cedar Raptors. Then a 16-0 loss to the Rocky Mountain Thundercats. Then another big loss to the OKC Lady Force, and they're a pretty big powerhouse in WFA football. Followed by Midwest Mountain Lions 14-0 loss. And today it's looking very good for Sioux Falls, looking to finish with a 2-6 record. Minx have also had a tough go of it. They opened the season with a 21-14 victory over the Cedar Raptors, followed by a fairly large loss to Oklahoma Rage, 26-0 loss to Midwest Mountain Lions. Nebraska Pride was a very tough game, and then last week they fell in a really tough one to the Cedar Raptors, 30-28 in overtime. But like I said, we've seen some offensive growth from Minnesota. Still need to develop it a little bit more, get some work on those chunk plays, just gaining a few yards and getting things out quickly as they continue to work on the down Minx player. We're dead set at 10 minutes on the clock in the third quarter. Grant Palmer out there checking on the situation. Looks like they finally get her up. Looks like that was number 28, Karen Navarro, out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. She also attended the U of M. Good to see she's walking off with some assistance, but glad she can walk off. We've seen some scary injuries before. So as we get set for second down in 3 for Sioux Falls. Reinke looks to hand it off to Ronning, but we get a flag, and that's a false start or illegal procedure. I'll make it 2nd and 8 on the do-over. So that'll move them back another 5 yards. If you're in the Hastings area, or if you want to see more of what Hastings Community Television does, we cover a wide variety of local sports. Upcoming schedule for us on Wednesday, we'll be covering some Hastings Hawks Town Ball baseball, followed by some Hastings Raiders Legion baseball the next Thursday, the 20th. So games 19th and 20th if you want more HCTV action. Ronning with the carry. Takes it outside. Minx in pursuit and just get her out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Another big play for Sioux Falls. And Minx are just running out of options for these players as clock continues to run, just under 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Navarro on the sideline, still getting checked out by the trainer. So first down. 3 receivers, top of your screen, 2 to the bottom, empty backfield. Reinke. Player in motion, play action, has time. Caught by Ronning, and that was almost disastrous. Oh, and almost taken away. Now, what are they going to rule it here? Are they going to rule it incomplete? They are going to rule that incomplete, I believe. So not completing the process of a catch, and that was almost a big turnover for Minnesota. Oh no, they're going to mark forward progress stopped, excuse me. So the ball will be at the 20, so 2nd and 5. Apologize about that. Three receivers near side. One of them's really far back near the 30. Flute in motion, handoff. Good run, taken down about the 10, maybe 11-yard line. That was 52 once again. Erica De Leon. So the chains move once again. 42, J.C. Otterson was involved in the tackle. So 1st and 10. Ball's actually at the 13-yard line. Running in motion, handoff once again. She's got speed. Takes it between a couple of defenders, but good job to wrap her up. That's Otterson involved in the tackle, and she might be slow to get up. Looking to stay on the field, though. So she will stay on the field as we get set for a 2nd and 4. So 2nd down. Reinke looking to pass. Fumbles it. Can she get on top? And it's Minnesota Minx football. And that's a big fumble recovery and a huge momentum builder for Minnesota. A lot of work still yet to do. But that can be a spark or a catalyst to get something rolling. The offense needs to build off of this play, get hyped, get excited, get some chunk plays, and let's sustain a drive, give your defense a break, and get on the scoreboard. We'll see what Minnesota can do, and that was really the first major blemish we've seen today for Sioux Falls. Otherwise, it's been a very efficient day, as the scoreboard would indicate, 34-0. Two receivers each side. Ghana in the backfield. Hahn looking to pass. Has time. Fires deep and ooh, incomplete. Intended target was Athena Hurd. And that was a very well-placed ball. Hurd just couldn't hold on to it. Rain is lightly coming down once again, but that was one of the better-looking balls from Hahn today and just couldn't get it complete as we get set for 2nd and 10. Clock continues to run. We're at the 4:45 mark here. Two receivers each side, handoff, Ghana. And nowhere to go, so stuff short. Make it 3rd and long. Here as we approach the final few minutes of quarter 3. So 3rd and 11. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout. Sioux Falls will take their first timeout of the second half. Also want to mention, too, it's also Miranda Krogstad's birthday. Number 15 of the Minnesota Minx. So happy birthday to Miranda. Nothing better than playing football on your birthday. Too bad the weather it didn't cooperate a little more, but weather gods are not always so fortunate. As we get set to resume play for 3rd and 11. Minx going to need to push something downfield. Third down. Hahn rolling out. Has time, thrown, and a little too far for Hurd. And that'll force another punt. She's starting to push it downfield a little more than we saw in the first half, but just let her a little too far. So another tough punt for Hopkins. She was in her own end zone on the first punt of the day back in the first quarter. Nearly blocked, but boy, was that a good punt. Bounced at the 40, and that's going to carry back to the 50, and wisely lets that go. Parks smartly decides not to grab that one. That was a really good kick from Hopkins. So Sioux Falls will start with possession at about the 46-yard line. You said final game of the regular season for all squads across the WFA. Like I said, WFA Game of the Week starts at 7 p.m. from St. Louis. Please tune into that one. Support Minnesota sports if you're a Minx fan. Handoff once again. De Leon, another first down. Takes it past the 30. And she just looks like A.J. Dillon. I know a bunch of viewers might be Minnesota Viking fans, but I'm a Green Bay fan. And she's really looking like prime A.J. Dillon. Or if you're a Packer fan, you might remember Eddie Lacy. That was an Eddie Lacy type run. Just carrying all the defenders with her for a big chunk play and new set of downs. So ball at the 30-yard line. Chains move once again. 2:20 to go. We're here in quarter three. 2 in the backfield. Reinke looking to pass. Pressure. Rolls out. She's going to take it herself. Looking to get out of bounds, and she'll get pushed at about the 31, 32-yard line. Good job by Minnesota to force her out of the pocket and contain it for a very minimal gain. And those are the bright spots you see with this Minnesota team. They are reading them. It's just making sure you can catch up and contain it. And there was a 10-yard penalty. Looks like a hold, so that'll move them back and set up a long second down. Excuse me, 1st and 20. They aren't updating the downs and distance on the scoreboard here in-house, so it's a little hard for me to tell. I'm used to looking over there instead of the chain gains. As we get set for 1st and 20. One in the backfield, pistol formation, bat snap. That's picked up, but they're wrapped up immediately, but still pushing out of tackles. But finally thrown down. That is Flute once again. Be 2nd and 22 for Sioux Falls. It's nice seeing Sioux Falls have another major sports team of some kind. The other team that really sticks out to me, obviously it's a male sport, but the Sioux Falls Canaries of the Independent American Association. It's great to see another pro team. Handoff, Ronning makes a move, takes it past the 30, 25, and fumbles out of bounds. So that'll take it near a little past the original line of scrimmage and set up a 3rd and 6. So big chunk play from Sioux Falls, but Sioux Falls Canaries I was pretty familiar with when I interned with the St. Paul Saints back in 2020. Canaries signed one of our old Saints players, Ryan Zimmerman. Pretty solid pitcher as we are now under 10 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Handoff. Gain of 4 on the carry. That'll bring up a 4th down, but not before we send it to a quick break. Thanks for joining us, everybody. The Sioux Falls Snow Leopards still lead 34-0 here on HCTV Sports. Welcome back to Minnesota Minx football here on HCTV Sports. Hunter Pinky on the announcing duties alongside Ian Andersack, who has joined me up in the press box. Once again, thanks for joining us, everybody. It's been all Sioux Falls today, capitalizing on Minnesota's dormant offense. And they're driving once again, and it's another fourth down. Looks like they're going to have a bunch formation. Seen this a couple times, either a little tush push or they'll do a little inside handoff. And it's going to be a quarterback sneak. And is she short? And it looks like she's short, but a couple of Minx players slow to get up. Otterson slow. Looks like they're both okay, and the offensive unit will come back out from Minnesota. So another great stop from the Minnesota defense. Just the offense needs to help complement that. Be interesting to see what they can do here. Just start of the fourth quarter. 34-0 lead in favor of Sioux Falls. And Sioux Falls really has grown into an excellent program. I remember, like I said, in their inaugural season, it was, 12-10 game, 2-0 game. Quarterback keeper Madison Hunt, and she is ripped down. Again, it's one of the MVPs of the day, Muldrow, involved in the plays. We have a Snow Leopard slow to get up. That's Hasty. And she's coming out of the game to get checked out as we get set up for second down. So here we go, second down. One back in the backfield, two receivers near side. More put on the line. That's number 22 on the carry. Gets to the line of scrimmage, maybe gets a yard, if that. That was Rashaw on the carry. As we get set up for another Minx third down. But like I was saying, this Sioux Falls team really has grown over the past few years. I don't mean to bring up an ugly memory, but when they were playing the Minx in one of their very early, not the Minx, the Minnesota Vixen in their early seasons, one of the games ended early just because it got so out of hand. And now they're really growing into a program that can really compete, and they're starting to establish themselves, especially at the D3 levels. Handoff, Tricarico looking to get some space and gets it back to the line of scrimmage, but doesn't gain much. That'll set up another fourth down. But they really have improved significantly defensively and offensively. It's really great to see this program come into their own, and I'm excited to see it continue. Because there are some really good Division III teams, like the Midwest Mountain Lions. They're a fairly new squad as well, and they are having a very successful season. They were 4-1 coming into today, and they kept games with them close, and they'll just be a little bit more time as the punt is a high one. Lands about the 40, takes another Minx favorable hop, but this time picked up, takes it outside near the 30 and is pushed out of bounds. Once again, Brandy Parks. But it really has come a long way from the 2-0 games, the 10-0 games they used to play in, and I'm excited to see the futures of both of these teams continue to grow. So it'll be first and 10 at the 32. Just wait as we get set for another pass from Reinke. And that's incomplete. So that'll be second down at the 32-yard line after the incomplete pass. It's been off and on raining here in the second half. It's looking to clear, but they still want to get out of this game just before the heavy stuff comes. One in the backfield. End around. Ronning takes it, makes a move, but can't get out of the tackle by Horniman. And it's a fumble recovery by Minnesota, so another turnover. Everett Flynn comes up with the fumble recovery, and talk about this defense. They are doing everything right. And I don't want to be overly critical of either squad, but this Minnesota offense needs to get something put together. This defense is playing very, very well in the second half. It's just the offense is having a lot of trouble. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you really got to... Offense needs to help step up. While defense wins championships, you can't do that if you have a dormant offense, as we get a timeout. That'll be another Sioux Falls timeout. They're down to 1 here in the second half. If you guys are looking for more WFA content, don't forget to tune into the Road to Canton show we carry on HCTV as well. That is produced over at Town Square Television in Inver Grove Heights. Join Brian Sweeney and Alex Wested, the voices of WFA football, for all that action. It's available on the WFA YouTube channel. They just released this week's episode a couple days ago. There's still time to check it out. It'll be off for a week this upcoming week due to there being a bye before playoffs kick off. But catch all that action. So we get set for first down. Couple in the backfield. On. Handoff. And nowhere to go, as that was read very well by Sioux Falls. That was Rashaw on the carry. And Randy Parks was involved in the tackle. So loss of 3 on the carry. So 2nd and 13. Minnesota still struggling to get something rolling. Hahn takes a snap, handoff once again, bounced outside, lot of room, good block by number 23. Keep going, taken near the 50, and that's a first down, and that was one of the biggest runs of the day since the second quarter. That was Rashaw on the carry, and talk about that block by Loken. That was a huge, huge pancake on the side of that. That really helped create that space. First down. Pistol formation. Handoff gone, and ran right into a defender. That was number 34, Flute, and 35, Parks, involved in the play. No, excuse me, that was 52, De Leon. And we've been calling their names all game. That'll be second down. Be interesting to see if they keep with this running theme or if they want to start working in the pass a little bit. Hahn barking out orders. Krogstad in motion. First time we've seen that today. Handoff. Gone. Takes it past the line of scrimmage. Good gain. Takes it near a first down, and I think she got it. So the running game's starting to get on track here a little bit for Minnesota. It'll be 3rd and 1 for Minnesota. So ruled just short of the line to gain. But it's a manageable, well, it's a little bit long of a 3rd and 1. It's more like 3rd and 1 1/4 of a yard. Krogstad in motion once again. Hahn awaits the snap. Takes it, looking to throw. Firing deep for Krogstad. Can she get back to it? No. And no flag. I don't know about that one, folks. Maybe I missed the head turn, but it looked like the throw could have been better. But she was pretty smothered by the defender, and I don't think I saw a head get turned around. Regardless, it'll be 4th and 1, and Minnesota will keep the offense out here, which is, at this point of the game, with only 5:30 to go, I think you do that. And on the run, see what they're going to rule it a first down. So good quarterback run by Madison Hahn to pick up the first down. So the chains will move once again for another first down on this drive, and they're destroying their first down total just on this drive alone from the other 3 quarters of this game. 2 backs in the backfield. Handoff Ghana. Looking to bounce it outside, but a big hit. Once again, that's Alika Muldrow. She plays fantastic football, both offensively and defensively. It's been involved in almost every single play today. As we get set for 2nd down and 11. One in the backfield, Hahn, looking to pass. Pressure, throws high and nearly intercepted. Parks was the defender. Intended target was Anthena Hurd. Just thrown a little bit high. That'll set up a 3rd and long. Third and 11 as Hahn gets the play call. We're just under 3:30 to go in the game. Let's again keep an eye out for Vixen playoff scenario. We'll be carrying that on HCTV, so we're not quite done with WFA sports. Hahn looking to pass. Good block to give her time, and she fumbles. Who's on the football? Who's on the football? And it's Sioux Falls, and they get a turnover of their own. And that should about do it. Unfortunate the Minnesota Minx couldn't get anything rolling as clock continues to roll as we just hit under 2:40. Once again, I'm Hunter Pinky with Ian Andersack on camera. No one in master control. I do that too. So we get set for first down and 10 yards. Spreading it out wide. Having a couple of those receivers are playing pretty far off the line as they send a receiver in motion. Handoff. has room, takes it past the 50, and tackled down right at the 50. That was number 6, Claire Mann, on the little end around jet sweep. 42, J.C. Otterson was the one who made the tackle. Like I said, she's been one of the biggest bright spots on this D. But like I said, Minnesota Minx defense has played fantastic in the second half, not allowing a single point, forcing a couple of turnovers. It's just offensively didn't get that backing. Second down. Reinke takes a snap, handoff. De Leon runs into a wall and nowhere to go. As we move to third down and about 8, we're about to hit a minute left in this football game. Third and 8 is the down and distance here from Harding High School. Once again, thanks to Otto, the athletic director, and all the event staff for making this possible for us to be here. And thanks for the Minx for being wonderful hosts and promoting us. And thanks for every fan tuning in today, even those on the away crowd, as the pass is dropped by Danielle Flute. And it seems like Minnesota's pretty content to let the rest of this clock run out. Not going to try for one more offensive possession. As we get 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that's the game, folks. The Sioux Falls Snow Leopards win in dominating fashion, 34-0 over the Minnesota Minx. Like I said, Sioux Falls, fantastic. Their running game was extremely effective, very power run style. Whenever they got it outside, they could just bulldoze through a lot of those smaller sized receivers on the outside edge, or defensive players, I should say, and Minx just couldn't handle that very well in the first half, but they really stepped it up in the second half, holding them scoreless, even though it was moving a little quick due to the running time, but they were playing extremely well defensively, forcing a few turnovers. Offensively, for the future, they're going to need to look at rebuilding, figuring out some new pieces, what they can do, and see if they can become more competitive in the future. So thank you for joining us for our second season of Minnesota Minx football as we get the final handshakes. And you know, it wasn't quite the season Minnesota would have wanted on the record books, but notably they got their first Division III win. They played some very competitive games, and I think it was very successful. You've learned what you do well. You've learned a lot of mistakes playing. They played a lot of Division II teams, and they're no stiff competition like Nebraska, Oklahoma. I think they might be D3. Pardon me if they are, but Oklahoma is very good. They did not have a very easy schedule, and same thing with Sioux Falls. They played some very tough teams, and they'll finish the season at 2-4, while the Minx will fall to 1-5. Thank you for joining us once again. If you want to catch Minnesota Vixen action on HCTV, we're hoping to carry the playoffs as well, so stay tuned for that. And thank you for joining, everyone. My name's Hunter Pinky, Ian Andersack on the camera. This has been Minnesota Minx football on HCTV Sports.